Look at yourself, not in the mirror, but in the moments when no one is watching, in the silence between your thoughts, in the hesitation before you speak, in the apology you offer for simply existing. You've been told that your softness is virtue, that your patience is strength, that your willingness to forgive is the highest form of humanity. But what if I told you that every weakness you carry was not born in you, but built around you, that the world, with all its rules and rituals, has been quietly shaping you into something manageable, predictable, and safe? This is not a conspiracy, it's a design, and you are not alone in it. From the moment you could walk, you were taught to wait your turn, to lower your voice, to say sorry for things that were never your fault. You were praised for your patience, rewarded for your silence, and told that kindness is its own reward. But what did you get in return? Did the world open its arms to you? Did respect find you? Or did you find yourself overlooked, underestimated, and quietly dismissed? The truth is, the world does not reward the agreeable. It rewards the undeniable. And the undeniable are not born. They are made, often in the fire of their own rebellion. Machiavelli understood this centuries ago. He saw that the masses are not kept docile by accident, but by design. The powerful do not fear the strong. They fear the awakening of those they have convinced to stay small. Your weakness is not a flaw. It is a feature installed like a virus to keep you manageable. But here's the secret. The moment you wake up, the moment you stop apologizing for your existence, the moment you start saying no without explanation, walking away without guilt, and acting without permission, you become a threat to the system that built you. This video is not here to motivate you. It is here to reprogram you, to burn out the emotional malware, the guilt, the doubt, the fear that keeps you stuck. Weakness is not a gentle trait. It is a death sentence in the game of power. In the jungle of human behavior, weakness is not pitied, it is preyed upon. The world does not treat you according to your intentions. It treats you according to your image. Appear fragile, and you will attract oppressors. Appear too forgiving, and you will invite betrayal. Appear kind without power, and people will take advantage of you with a smile on their face. Machiavelli warned rulers and men alike, do not concern yourself with being loved, be feared, or be forgotten, because weakness is not noble. It is a signal to the powerful that you can be broken. We live in a society that tries to hide this brutal truth. They feed you lies. Nice guys win in the end. Patience always pays off. People will see your value if you wait long enough. That is the language of the powerless. The truth is, nobody respects the person who tolerates disrespect. Nobody fears the one who forgives everything, and nobody follows the one who hesitates. The cost of weakness is subtle at first. You lose respect, you get ignored, you become invisible. Then the cost escalates. Betrayal, failure, loss of control. Weakness is not just emotional softness. It's indecision. It's over-explaining. It's always asking instead of taking. It's fearing consequences more than desiring power. And the worst part, weakness becomes a habit. You convince yourself it's morality, when really it's fear dressed in virtue. So the first step is recognition. You must call out the weakness in you, without excuse, without shame, without mercy. Only then can you destroy it. But recognition alone is not enough. Awareness without action is just another mask for weakness. The world does not care what you see in yourself. It only cares what you project. You can know every theory of power. You can memorize every law, every strategy, every philosophy. But if you still hesitate, if you still lower your eyes in the presence of strength, if you still explain yourself when no explanation is required, you have learned nothing. Machiavelli wrote that it is not enough to possess virtue. One must know how to use it. Power unused is power wasted, and wasted power is indistinguishable from weakness. So what does it mean to act without weakness? It does not mean cruelty for its own sake. It does not mean striking everyone around you with fear. It means means becoming untouchable. When someone tries to insult you, your response is not anger, it is silence, or it is dominance. When someone disrespects you, you do not beg for their apology. You make their disrespect costly. When opportunities arise, you do not wait for permission. You seize them as if they were already yours. This is the psychology of power, and this is why the weak suffer, because weakness makes you predictable. Predictability makes you easy to control, and control is the currency of the powerful. The strong are not always the smartest. They are not always the most talented, but they are the ones willing to cross the line that the weak dare not approach. That is why the ruthless rise. That is why the ambitious dominate. That is why history remembers conquerors, not caretakers. Weakness will disguise itself in your life as kindness, but true kindness is a choice made from strength, not from fear. The kindness of the weak is never kindness at all. It is appeasement. It is surrender dressed up as virtue, and people can smell it. They exploit it. They weaponize it against you. Do you want to know the greatest betrayal? It is not the knife in your back. It is the moment you realize that every cut you suffered came from doors you left open yourself, that every betrayal was permitted by your silence, that every failure was carved out of hesitation, that every ounce of disrespect you endured was a tax you paid for your weakness. And you wonder why they do not respect you, why they overlook you, why they betray you. It is because weakness is permission. It is the signal that says, this person will not fight back. This person will not retaliate. This person is safe to exploit. And so they do. This is not cruelty. This is reality. The world operates by power, dynamics, and power always moves away from the weak and toward the strong. That is why you must strip weakness from your very being, like poison from your blood, like rot from your bones. You cannot negotiate with it. You cannot make peace with it. You must destroy it. So how do you destroy weakness? Not with motivation, not with empty affirmations, but with transformation. You must train yourself in the art of refusal. Say no without apology. Walk away without guilt. Detach without hesitation. Every time you apologize when no apology is required, you feed your weakness. Every time you explain yourself to someone who doesn't deserve it, you bow to your weakness. Every time you hesitate when opportunity calls, you strengthen the chains around you. But every time you refuse, you grow. Every time you walk away, you harden. Every time you act without permission, you burn weakness out of your system. This is not about arrogance. This is about becoming ungovernable. Do you know what people fear most? A person who cannot be controlled, a person who cannot be manipulated, a person who cannot be baited with guilt or trapped with fear. That person is untouchable. That person is dangerous. That person is free. Machiavelli knew this truth. The strong are not the ones who avoid enemies. The strong are the ones who make enemies fear to act. Weakness will always beg for peace. Strength creates peace because no one dares disturb it. Look back at your life. Every moment of pain, every betrayal, every humiliation, trace them back, and you will see the fingerprints of weakness on every one of them. You trusted when you should have tested. You forgave when you should have punished. You waited when you should have seized. You obeyed when you should have refused. The world punishes weakness with cruelty. It rewards strength with respect. But here is the paradox. To destroy your weakness, you must first admit that it is there. Most people will never do this. They will defend their weakness. They will excuse it as kindness. They will dress it up as morality, and so they will remain prey. But you are here because you know better, because you have felt the cost of weakness in your bones, because you have tasted its poison and you are ready to burn it out of your blood. This is the turning point. This is where the old version of you dies and the new version of you is born, not a victim, not a servant, not a fragile soul begging for mercy, but a strategist, a commander, a player of the game of power. So what does it mean to play the game of power? It means no longer seeing the world as fair or unfair. It means seeing it as it is, a battlefield. Every conversation is a negotiation. Every relationship is a transaction. Every interaction is a test of leverage. The weak enter this battlefield blind. They think kindness will protect them. They think patience will elevate them. They think morality will shield them. But the strong know better. The strong do not wait to be chosen. They choose themselves. The strong do not beg for opportunity. They create it. The strong do not hope for respect. They command it. Machiavelli wrote that appearances are more important than reality, because the world cannot see your intentions. It can only see your image. So build an image that kills weakness. Stand taller, speak slower. Look people in the eyes without fear. Do not over-explain. Do not apologize for existing. Do not lower yourself to make others comfortable. Your image must send a message before you even open your mouth. I am not weak. I am not prey. I am not to be tested, because predators test before they attack. They probe for hesitation. They search for softness. They look for cracks, and when they find them, they strike. So seal the cracks, harden the surface, leave nothing for them to exploit. This is why weakness must die in you, because as long as it lives, you will always be a target. People say strength is lonely, but they are wrong. Weakness is lonely because the weak are used. They are discarded. They are abandoned when their usefulness ends. Strength, on the other hand, attracts allies, not because of love, but because of power. And power is the only magnet that never fails. Do not make the mistake of thinking you must destroy all softness in yourself. You may still be kind, you may still be generous, you may still be loyal, but only when it is a choice, not when it is a compulsion, not when it is born from fear, not when it is weakness disguised as virtue. This is the difference. The kindness of the strong is respected. The kindness of the weak is exploited. The loyalty of the strong inspires fear. The loyalty of the weak invites betrayal. The silence of the strong commands attention. The silence of the weak guarantees invisibility. Do you see it now? The difference is not in the act, it is in the source. And that source must never again be weakness. So how do you build this strength? How do you burn weakness out of your body until not a trace of it remains? You start with discipline. Discipline is the antidote to weakness. Discipline is the fire that reshapes you. The weak wait until they feel ready. The strong act regardless of feeling. The weak are slaves to comfort. The strong are masters of it. The weak give excuses. The strong give results. Every time you choose discipline over comfort, you kill a piece of weakness. Wake up earlier than you want to. Speak when your voice wants to hide. Say no when your mouth wants to say yes. Walk away when your fear begs you to stay. Discipline is not just routine. It is rebellion. Rebellion against the old version of you. Rebellion against the weakness you were taught to carry. And as discipline grows, so does power. Because power is not in words. It is not in theories. It is in habits. It is in the way you carry yourself, day after day. The weak collapse under pressure. The strong are shaped by it. The weak avoid conflict. The strong confront it. The weak beg for certainty. The strong thrive in uncertainty. Machiavelli said fortune favors the bold. He was right. Because fortune does not smile on hesitation. It does not wait for the fearful. It bends to those who act. So act, even when you are afraid, especially when you are afraid. Fear is the final mask of weakness, and the only way to destroy it is to walk directly into it. Do not mistake fearlessness for strength. Fearlessness does not exist. Everyone feels fear, but strength is the ability to act in spite of it, to look fear in the face and move anyway. That is how weakness dies, not in comfort, not in waiting, not in silence, but in fire, in discipline, in action. Every step you take against your fear, every act of discipline you force into your bones, every refusal you make without guilt, cuts weakness out of you like a knife. Until one day, you look in the mirror and you no longer see prey, you see power. But understand this, strength is not loud, it does not need to shout, it does not beg to be seen. Weakness seeks attention. distinction. Strength creates presence. Weakness explains itself. Strength speaks in silence. Weakness defends. Strength does not need to. The moment you stop reacting to every insult, to every accusation, to every attempt to pull you into battles that don't matter, you rise above the crowd. Silence becomes your weapon. Distance becomes your shield. Mystery becomes your power. The strong are not predictable. They are not available to everyone. They are not desperate to prove themselves. And that is why they are feared. And that is why they are respected. Machiavelli wrote that appearances matter more than intentions. The world does not care about your heart. It only sees your image. So build an image that cannot be ignored. Do not appear weak. Do not appear desperate. Do not appear endlessly forgiving. Appear calm. Appear unshaken. Appear untouchable. When people cannot predict you, they cannot control you. When people cannot read you, they cannot use you. And when people cannot move you, they cannot break you. This is the quiet power, the kind of power that does not scream, but bends the room without a word. The weak beg to be loved. The strong demand to be remembered. The weak wait to be chosen. The strong choose themselves. And the weak fade quietly into history, while the strong carve their names into it. Machiavelli wrote that a prince must learn how not to be good, how to use virtue as a tool, not as a cage. The same is true for you. Kindness is not weakness. Patience is not weakness. Forgiveness is not weakness. But they all become weakness the moment they are used against you, the moment they are demanded of you, the moment they are expected as the price of acceptance. Use them strategically, not compulsively. Be kind when it serves your mission. Be patient when it builds your leverage. Forgive when it frees you from the past. But never let these virtues become chains. The world will always tell you to be good, because good is predictable, because good is controllable, because good is safe. But your duty is not to be good. It is to be effective, to be powerful, to be undeniable. And here is the paradox. The more power you have, the more freedom you have to use kindness on your own terms. Kindness without power is slavery. Kindness with power is strategy. So stop asking, am I good enough? Ask instead, am I strong enough to choose when to be good? Because only then does kindness have weight. Only then does forgiveness have value. Only then does patience have meaning. Without power, they are empty gestures. With power, they become weapons. Let's talk about emotional control. Weakness thrives in emotion. The world tells you, follow your heart, trust your feelings, be authentic, but feelings are fleeting, and authenticity without strategy is just vulnerability. The strong do not ignore their emotions, but they do not obey them. They use emotion as a signal, not as a command. Anger tells you where your boundaries are. Fear tells you where your growth is. Guilt tells you where you have been manipulated. But none of these emotions should drive your decisions. Strategy over emotion. Every time. The cure for weakness is not motivation. It is calculation. Motivation fades. Calculation endures. The strong do not wait to feel ready. They act, and the feeling follows. They do not wait for the perfect moment. They create it. They do not wait for permission. They take it. Every move is measured. Every word is chosen. Every action is aligned with their mission. This is not coldness. This is clarity. The world is full of people chasing feelings. The strong chase results, and that is why they win. You must build a cold inner core. The strongest men have fire in their ambition, but ice in their heart. This does not mean cruelty. It means clarity. The clarity to say, this person no longer serves my mission. They're gone. This situation is not working. I cut it off. This betrayal happened. I move forward. Most people drown because they can't let go. They cling to loyalty. They cling to guilt. They cling to old versions of themselves. But the cold mind understands attachment is weakness. Emotion is expensive. And in the game of power, your feelings will betray you faster than your enemies. From this moment on, every decision must be filtered through one question. Does this make me more powerful or more vulnerable? If it weakens you, burn it. If it softens you, silence it. If it slows you down, walk away. The cure is not kindness. It's clarity. It's control. It's strategy over emotion every time.